Sometimes I think the loudest place in the world isn't a city, a train station, a crowded tourist square. It's the mind of a person trying to create something, especially when you sit down to draw, because that voice appears immediately, that tiny internal accountant of creativity. Not good enough, not original. Someone already did it better, and honestly, what's even the point? It never creates anything itself. It just walks around with a clipboard judging everyone else's work. For a long time, I thought creativity was about the result, the final beautiful image, about proving you're talented, about making something worthy enough to justify your existence. But lately, I've started realizing something else. Maybe creativity was never about the result at all. Maybe it's about the moment when you forget about yourself, when your hand simply moves, when you stop judging every line, when time starts dissolving in a strange way. Like your brain finally got tired of bullying you and went outside to hide somewhere in the bushes. Now what's left is the precious process. There's this thing called the flow state, a state where you're so deeply inside the act of making something that you stop thinking about whether you're good or bad, talented or untalented, successful or unsuccessful, you just exist. I think it's one of the rarest forms of peace available to people now, because we live in a world where everything has to be monetized, optimized, and turned into content. Even rest has to be productive now. Even hobbies are expected to have brand potential. You just want to draw some leaves, and your brain is already asking, okay, but is it real? Sometimes I just want to put my inner algorithm up for sale online. But maybe art begins exactly at the moment when you stop trying to make something important, when you allow yourself to make something alive, imperfect, weird, a little messy, a little too emotional, human. I think a lot of us stopped enjoying creativity because of fear. Fear of making something bad, fear of disappointing expectations, fear that the result won't matter. But the truth is, the result almost never gives us the feeling we're chasing. That perfect moment of now I'm finally enough somehow keeps moving to the next project. The brain basically signed us up for a free trial of neurosis. So now I'm trying to return to simpler things, to the sound of pencil and paper, to paint on my hands, to moments when you sit somewhere in an old town or forest drawing something completely unnecessary. And somehow it becomes easier to breathe, because creativity doesn't always have to lead somewhere. Sometimes it simply keeps you afloat. And honestly, that's already enough, especially now, especially in times where the world feels a bit like an exhausted pigeon repeatedly flying into the glass window of history. We deeply underestimate small acts of creation. A sketch in a notebook, a silly little video, a song no one will hear, a photo of light on a wall, a text written at 2 a.m. And maybe the point isn't to create something grand, maybe it's just to be present in your own life once in a while. To notice the way light falls, the sound of paper moving, the look of an evening after a bad day. And still make something anyway. And maybe that's the most beautiful part of the whole process.